Hey there, my name is Adrian with ProjectRamos.com and dealsbypr.com. On this channel I do tech reviews, so if you're new here, consider subscribing. Today we're going to be taking a look at a USB-C hub made by Vankyo. Now this hub features 1 gigabit Ethernet port, 1 4K HDMI port, 3 USB 3.0 ports, 1 micro SD card reader, 1 SD card reader, a USB-C pass-through charging port. So let's go ahead and get into the unboxing. All right, here's our hub here. It looks like it's made out of aluminum. And it's a custom foam insert to keep it safe during transportation. So here's the hub, and let me see if I can get it to focus here. Got the company name right here, right up on top, Vankyo. Let's see here. On this end, we've got a USB 3.0 port, a micro SD card slot, an SD card slot. On this end, we've got the Ethernet port, and on this end, we have the USB-C pass-through power port, a USB 3.0 port, another USB 3.0 port, and the HDMI 4K port. The USB-C cable, it's got a pretty good length on it, and the same color aluminum is also on the connector, which is a nice touch. Let's see here, the hub's a little on the thicker side, but it feels really premium. It feels really good. It's well constructed. And let's see what else is in here. Looks like there was something else here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop that out. And it's a USB 3.0 to USB-C adapter, which is a really nice accessory to have with this USB-C hub. And let's see what else we get in the box. All right, here's the instruction manual, which, you know, these hubs are fairly straightforward and basic, so I don't expect there to be too much information in here. And you also get a very nice pouch, and the company name is right on the pouch. So you're going to be able to throw your hub right into the pouch, and then throw this in your bag. All right, let's go ahead and get this hub plugged into my laptop and test out the ports and see what kind of performance we can get out of it. All right, for this next part of the test, I have my 34-inch ultra-wide LG monitor. I have my 4 terabyte portable Western Digital drive, which hooks up USB 3.0. I have my micro SD card, as well as the SD card adapter, and also have my power supply to be able to plug it in and test the charging port. So let's go ahead and plug in my Western Digital portable drive. And we should be able to see it load up on the desktop here. And there it is there. It just showed up on the desktop. Okay, on the hard drive, I have a file that's 2.65 gigabytes. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer that from the hard drive to the desktop and time it with my iPhone and see how long that takes. So here's my file here, and I've got my timer on my iPhone ready to go. So as soon as I let go of this file onto the desktop, I will begin the timer. So here we go. And all right, it's transferring and time. All right, so it took 1 minute, 12 seconds to transfer a 2.65 gigabit file from my external drive to the desktop. So now what we're gonna do is take it from the desktop and transfer it back to the hard drive and see how long that takes. So I'm gonna go ahead and reset this back to 0, and let's begin. So here we go, I'm about to let it go. We're almost there. All right, that took 1 minute 19 seconds. So almost the same amount of time there. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is plug in the micro SD card and make sure that that slot is working. So I've got my card here. Let's go ahead and plug in the SD, micro SD. It's plugged in and it just showed up on the desktop. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and eject it. Now we're going to put it into the SD adapter. You gotta flip it over. It's plugged in and it just showed up on the desktop. Okay, next thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug in the monitor using an HDMI cable here. All right, so the monitor is now plugged in. And there we go, monitor's on. Now, one of the things that I like to test is to see if we could just simply unplug the monitor and then plug it back in and see if we can get it to fire up again. So there it is there, we just unplugged it. Now we're plugging it back in. And it's working. All right, lastly, we're gonna plug in the power adapter. This guy right here. And as soon as we hear my laptop make the noise that the laptop is charging, we know that the port is working. So I am plugging it in now. And there it is there. The laptop is charging. Now, as a final test, I want to plug my external into one of the other USB 3.0 ports, just to see if we get the same kind of performance we did as we did with the port on this end here. So I'm going to take that same file and I'm going to transfer it over to the desktop and see how long it takes here. So here's the file, and we're going to fire up the timer once again. So there we go, we got it reset to 0, and I'm going to transfer the file over and start this at the same time. There we go. And we got 1 minute 12 seconds, same exact performance. So it looks like you're going to get the same performance regardless of what port you use. So just to double check, or I should say triple check, let's go ahead and test out the third port. So the one right next to the one we just tested. All right, the hard drive just showed up. I'm grabbing that same file, 2.65 gigs, and here we go. All right, same exact performance, 1 minute, 12 seconds. That's going to conclude our test of the Vankyo USB-C hub. All of the ports are working as expected. Let's first talk about the USB 3.0 ports and the transfer rate. Compared to other hubs that we have tested on this channel, this hub seems to be a little slower transferring files over to the desktop. Now, we've used the same file, the 2.65 gigabit file. The other hubs were able to transfer that same file over to the desktop in about 30 seconds. The Vankyo hub is taking 1 minute and 12 seconds. So it is taking longer to transfer that file. However, that file is a really large file. Typically, you're probably going to be transferring smaller files, and this hub should be able to transfer those type of files over rather quickly. Larger files, yeah, it's going to take a little longer, but it's not terribly long. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the thickness of the hub. I think the thickness of this hub was by design, and the reason for that is that when we were running all of our tests, at the end of the test, to the touch, this hub was just a little warm. You know, it wasn't hot, it was just a little bit warm. Normally when you push hubs really hard, they tend to get really warm, even hot to the touch. And typically hubs that are on the thinner side, I would say maybe even half the thickness of this hub, those are the type of hubs that normally get really hot. Let's talk about the color finish, the aluminum color finish of this hub. It matches my MacBook Pro 2016. So if you have a MacBook Pro 2016 or above, you know, space gray, this hub is gonna match the color of it perfectly, which is a nice touch. This hub sells for $39.99 on Amazon. I think it's worth the money. The hub comes with this USB-C adapter, so you can plug in a regular USB device on this end and be able to plug the other end into a USB-C port, which is nice to have if you have, you know, just like a flash drive or something that you need to plug in real quick. That way you don't have to pull out the whole hub. You can just take this little adapter out, plug in a flash drive, plug in whatever it is that you need to plug in that's USB or regular USB, and quickly get that done without having to pull out the whole hub. And you also get the pouch so that you can put your hub in the pouch, throw it in your bag, and not worry that it's gonna get scratched. As always, if you found some value in this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you were to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get notified when we upload new videos. And on that note, we will see you on the next video.